KREM 2 News 10 at 10 begins now with Mark Hanrahan and Jeremy Legoo.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. Our top story tonight: Spokane City Council just voted in favor of an ordinance limiting landlords' ability to raise rent or evict their tenants. This is for those who are not registered with the city and do not have a business license. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy is live in the newsroom tonight after attending the meeting. Connor?
City Council voted on an ordinance requiring landlords to obtain a business license and register with the city if renting out of Spokane last year. Monday night, Council voted on restricting any rent increases or evictions for those who still aren't registered. John Flynn with the Rental Housing Association of Washington attended Monday night's meeting expressing opposition to the ordinance, which passed 5-2 with Councilman Bingle attending over Zoom.
The city can expect a lawsuit from our organization.
He says the organization sent a letter to the mayor, city attorney, and the council with no response, detailing why the ordinance should not be voted in favor.
We have an RCW in the state that tells us how local municipalities should institute registration programs. That law controls anything that the city or county attempts to do unless it was grandfathered in. Spokane was not grandfathered in.
Councilman Klitsky voted in favor of the ordinance, saying not registering with the city at this point is not acceptable.
This isn't a huge barrier. It isn't an insurmountable barrier. And if you want to run a good business, you should participate in the rules.
Flynn says the added ordinance voted on Monday says it will hurt small housing providers, such as those who rent out duplexes.
As you make a regulatory environment more and more difficult, your average mom and pop housing provider can't withstand it. And so what they end up doing is they end up selling that unit.
Flynn says the RHA represents 6,000 members statewide, 800 of which live in the city of Spokane. When asking Flynn when a lawsuit would be filed against City Council, he says it will be sooner rather than later. In the newsroom, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Connor, thank you very much. New tonight, a wave of new lawsuits filed against Sean Diddy Combs. At least 6 lawsuits were filed today accusing him of raping men and women and molesting a 16-year-old boy. They were filed anonymously by 2 women and 4 men. The accusations are part of what their lawyer says is a group of more than 100 alleged victims who are taking legal action against Combs after his sex trafficking arrest last month. Combs has pleaded not guilty. Also brand new tonight, the Coeur d'Alene School Board is considering adopting a new student threat assessment. The plan would lay out what administrators would do if a threat was made at school. Parents and family members would also be a part of that assessment process. Tonight, the board moved the plan forward by putting it up for public comment next month. It would be the first of its kind in Idaho if it is eventually adopted. And the city of Spokane released parts of its inclement weather sheltering plan this morning. The city has identified 357 surge beds across 6 potential sites. We asked if all those beds will be used this winter, and Mayor Lisa Brown's office said because the city only has $250,000 for inclement weather sheltering year-round, they can only afford to open 100 beds for 38 nights. This winter, the city will be using beds at existing shelters like Family Promise or Catholic Charities instead of trying to set up pop-up sites. We will continue to follow this story in an effort to get more details about the plan to find out what providers think about it. Homelessness, of course, a big part of the discussion tonight at the Spokane City Council meeting. Mayor Lisa Brown presented her annual statement of conditions and affairs of the city to the board. She focused on 3 things: homelessness, the city's fiscal state, and community safety. She touted the city's new CORE plan, which rolled out today, aimed at fighting crime and homelessness in the downtown core.
I think we can all agree that safety in our downtown core is of utmost importance. People work there. People live there. Many people recreate, come to art, visitors. It's really the center, adjacent to our riverfront park, of kind of our crown jewel.
The mayor said when it comes to the fiscal state of the city, the deficit has dropped to about $8 million, down from $25 million. All right, before we get to weather tonight, check out this time lapse of the once in every 80,000 year comet streaking across the sky. Take a look at the top part of your screen right there. NASA says the comet is nearly 2 miles in diameter. Even at its closest to Earth, it is still 44 million miles away. On that note, let's move to weather right now. Our warm temperatures are coming to an end and a big change is ahead in the forecast. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo for our changing weather. Jeremy?
Yeah, Mark, it's changing, but you don't have to wait 80,000 years for summer to come back. In fact, it's just a few months. Let's talk it though, because temperatures are still quite warm. 61 degrees where we sit right now. If you were to step outside right now, we will not be that warm starting Wednesday for at least a week. And it's going to be tough to get back up there, but I do think we easily climb into the 60s a few more times this year. But here it is. A giant atmospheric trough sitting off the coast plays role in a big weather pattern shift. Eventually a low pressure center, a cold front, and rain make its way back in. Clouds are already building, so if you didn't see the comment today, it's not looking good in the days to come. It's going to get dimmer and dimmer each and every day. So here we go. Eventually we'll start to see showers. Think Wednesday morning. So Tuesday night, we're going to go to bed with some of that activity. Wednesday morning, the rain returns and temperatures stay cooler. 71 tomorrow, 59 Wednesday, 53 on Thursday.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the show. Now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Tonight, we now know the identity of the man shot outside the Millwood Safeway this weekend. The suspect in that shooting still at large tonight. The shooting happened just after 6 in the morning on Saturday near Trenton, Oregon. The victim has been identified as 53-year-old William McCreet. If you have any information or saw what happened, you are asked to call that number right there at the bottom of your screen. Grand County officials have located the body of a missing fisherman. The sheriff's office says the body of Richard Smith was recovered from O'Sullivan Reservoir. He went missing 11 days ago after he went fishing and didn't come home. The sheriff's office says Smith's body resurfaced about 100 yards from where his tackle box and other gear were found last weekend. His family has been notified. Possible listeria contamination has prompted a nationwide recall of nearly 10 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken and meals used in a wide variety of foods from several stores. Some of the affected products were sold at Trader Joe's stores, including right here in our state. You'll also want to keep an eye out for prepackaged salads, sandwich wraps, and frozen meals sold at Walmart and Albertsons. For a complete list of all the recalled ready-to-eat meals, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website, KREM.com. And KREM 2 is working to bring you more from the candidates before Election Day. We are hosting several events to help you hear from them. Tomorrow, our Channing Curtis will be moderating the Spokane NAACP Candidate Forum and Town Hall. Al French and Molly Marshall, candidates for Spokane County Commissioner, will answer questions. Then 5th District Congressional candidate Carmela Conroy and Washington 3rd District candidate Natasha Hill will participate in a town hall discussion. The event starts at 6 this Tuesday night at the Spokane Central Library. Plus, a bit later this month, KREM 2 is hosting a 5th Congressional District debate. Candidates Carmela Conroy and Michael Baumgartner will be right here in the KREM 2 studio on Wednesday, October 30th. The hour-long debate starts at 7 that night on KREM 2, KSKN 22, KREM 2 Plus, and KREM.com. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.